Rican man, and I've seen my share of discrimination. And discrimination is something that sticks with you no matter how old you are. I remember when I was age 10, 1963, we lived in a tenement in Jersey City. My father wanted to move to Bayonne, and there was a two-family house in Bayonne on 10th Street. I remember the house, don't know if it's still there. I remember we were dressed in our Sunday best. I remember my mother wearing her best blue coat, red lipstick. My father had a suit on. I had this tan suit that made me look like the Fuller Brush man, but that's beside the point. And upon asking in his heavily accented English about the apartment, the landlady told him that the person that had been there before him had taken the apartment. And we were really crestfallen. We were looking forward to having a backyard. And 2 weeks later, the same ad was in the paper, the apartment was available, and a month later it was. But in 1963, there was no recourse. That was accepted, and that changed, obviously. In 1967, when I entered Bayonne High School, the guidance counselor asked me what I was. Well, I knew what he was asking. I told him I was Puerto Rican. He asked me what my father did for a living, and I told him he was an upholsterer. So he decided that I would be put in the vocational program. And that really upset me because my father wanted me to go college prep, and if you didn't follow what your dad wanted, out came the belt. So I came home from school in tears, and he wanted to know what happened. And the next day, he went into school, and all 5'3" of him to the 6'5" guidance counselor told him, "My boy is going to college prep, I don't care what you say." And that changed my life. I was in college, 1972, and I took European history. I got an A+ on a term paper. And the professor wanted to see me. And I'm wondering, gee, why would he want to see me? He saw me and he said, "You got the best grade in the class, and as a Puerto Rican, you should be especially proud of that." He meant that as a sincere compliment, but I took it as, well, since Hispanics, Latinos are pretty much stupid, I should really be glad that I was smart enough to get an A+. And when I moved to Chatham in 1995, I was apprehensive about moving here. I will admit it. I was a Puerto Rican gay man, but I have never, ever felt nothing but acceptance by this community. That's not to say that there isn't racism in our town. There's racism in every town in America. You know, take, for instance, when my father needed a new washing machine and we went to P.C. Richard on Route 10 in East Hanover. And just by hearing his accent, the salesman said, "These machines down here are more in your price range." And I went ballistic on them. To their credit, I did write P.C. Richard. They apologized, sent a gift certificate, and the salesperson was let go. But that just shows you that when I was 10 years old, 57 years ago, I remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember that professor's comment like it was yesterday. I remember being told I needed to take vocational like it was yesterday. And 25 years ago, when my dad was told these are more in your price range, I remember that like it was yesterday. So I see my share of discrimination, and I've been blessed because I've been closeted in a number of ways. I was closeted for years as a gay man, and I was closeted about my ethnicity because I saw that if you admitted the truth, you would be beat up or would be called names. I went through high school being called a spick, a faggot, a roach killer, and worse, and I'd be beaten up. Who wants that? I wouldn't want that. But that's the way things work. And what I learned from my dad was, we we have much more in common than what separates us. If we all believe in our faiths, we're looking for eternal salvation, number one. We're also looking for a better life for ourselves and our children and the generations to come. And the one thing that my father always told me that stuck with me till this day is no matter what color of your skin, what gender, what age, if you cut yourself, you bleed red. And that is our common humanity. And that's what brings all of this together, because all things are bound together and all things connect. What happened in Minneapolis and in Louisville and Atlanta shows that community policing is more important than ever. And I am sure that our police department is going to redouble its efforts to do that. To have a presence of police cars in the area, especially the downtown district, is important because it shows that we're present. There's community policing. But in order to start healing this divide, we need a dialogue. And a dialogue means not that we talk to each other, not that we speak past each other, but that we speak with one another. Only by speaking with one another do we get the chance to understand that which apparently divides us. And I am very hopeful this time about what's going on in America. I lived through the riots in 1967 and 68, and you couldn't find many white faces protesting in America's cities. I was in grammar school, and because I was brown skinned and still spoke with an accent, I was thought of as a rioter. And I resented that. And I still do today. And that was 53 years ago. And I still remember it. But today, what we're seeing is not thousands or tens of thousands. We're seeing millions throughout the world in righteous indignation, rising up and protesting about the state of affairs. I am also heartened that there is a great diversity this time in the voices. We're seeing white, African American, all different ethnicities, gay, straight, bisexual, all coming together to protest. And so if we speak with one another, we will be able